well, we're still in January, so I can actually say Happy New Year still. So Happy New Year to you. I hope your year started really well, and we really, really thank God for helping us see the year this far. I mean, like the testimony we gave in church, many people would have wanted to be in 2023, but they didn't. It's all because of God, and glory to God for enabling us to be here in this particular moment of our lives. I always tell people that if you're still alive, it means He's not done with you. So God still has a great plan and a great purpose for your life in the year 2023. And before I start preaching, let me tell you why I'm here. So I have decided to start a new segment on this channel, just so I'm a bit more consistent. And I want to talk about matters education. Now, in our country today, education is a big topic, especially after the introduction of the CBC curriculum, the competence-based curriculum. I want to delve in a journey of enlightening you guys about the different curriculums we have in our country, the different opportunities we have for your children in this country, but because we lack the knowledge, we are ignorant about all these curriculums, then we end up getting frustrated and stuck in one curriculum. And I will also say that some of these curriculums are really good, and they will not hurt your pocket. You will not need to break your bank to take your children to these schools. You will not have to break your banks for your children to enjoy quality education, or rather quality in quotes, if you feel a particular curriculum is not for you. So I want to delve into a journey of enlightening people about the different curriculums we have. I hope to talk about each of the curriculums I've actually encountered in length at some point. But to begin with, for today, I just want to let you know what curriculums do we have out here, what do they entail, and where can you find such schools. And all this information actually is online if you're not sure where to start. We move on to the very first curriculum I want to talk about is the CBC, the competence-based curriculum, mainly because it's the curriculum of our country. Sorry, bear with me, I'm going to use the word curriculum a million times in this video, but please just bear with me. So we have the competence-based curriculum. That's a Kenyan curriculum, and we all know it came to replace the 844 curriculum. And if you've done 844, then you understand, or rather you have an idea of why they needed to scrap it off and start off the CBC. And majorly it's because it was so much full of knowledge that was irrelevant. Most of it was irrelevant at some point in the pupils' lives. For example, you might have done geography at some point in your life, but right now it doesn't make sense to you anymore. You became something totally you delved away from geography. So it was so much based on content, and it wasn't a skillful curriculum. So children or pupils ended up graduating, and if you didn't do well in your exam, then you didn't have a space. You didn't have a space in this country. Then you ended up becoming someone useless. You ended up becoming someone who doesn't think they can do anything. So as a result of that, the government thought it good to actually instill some skills in our learners, so that even if they don't do so well, even if they don't excel academically, then they have something to fall back to. That's why you have the competence-based curriculum. What does competence mean? It means that you're able to do something efficiently or successfully or so well. So if your child is learning how to sew or stitch in grade 2 or grade 4 or grade 5, whichever grade, then they love it. Then by the time they graduate high school, they're so good at it, they can efficiently make you a sweater, they can efficiently make you a dress, because that skill has been nurtured from when a child is young. The trick with the CBC is that you as a parent have a role to play in it. Nurture the interests of your child. I'll talk about this much deeper when we talk about the CBC curriculum later, but you have to be interested. Actually, all these curriculums, a parent is so much essential. He's a very integral part in these curriculums. You're really, really important. part of your child's life as much as that teacher is, that school is, that curriculum is. You as a parent or a guardian is equally important. The other curriculum I'm going to touch base on that is also quite common in our country today is the British curriculum, or the national curriculum of England. Some people call it IGCSE. That's just the exam. The curriculum is the national curriculum of England. Some people also opt to go for British curriculum. So this is a British curriculum offered in Kenya. So instead of you traveling all the way to Britain to go for that curriculum, to take your child there to learn, they get to have access to it in a country. And examples of schools offering this curriculum, we know so many of them. We have Braeburn School, we have the Pony School, we have the Nairobi Academy, we have both schools on the high end and schools that are pocket friendly in terms of school fees. So it's up to you to go and do your research which school can fit my child. And all these curriculum, all these schools, they have they follow the same educational framework. That's the curriculum. So they're likely going to nurture your child exactly the same way. There might be a bit of limitations in terms of resources, in terms of exposure, but the content learned is equally helpful, whether your child is in a very high-end school or in a middle level school. The British curriculum, just like the CBC curriculum, opts to nurture skills and instill some skills in your child, nurture interests in your child. So if your child is good at swimming and not very good with the math, the academic bit, then the school will not force them to be good at maths, but they will still nurture the swimming bit of them while trying to push, or rather trying to support your child as much as they can to do well academically. But even if the academics don't do well, then they will come out with a very successful swimmer. So they provide opportunities for your child to swim with other children, to compete with children from other schools, or sometimes even other countries. I've been in schools where children have been given opportunities to represent the country in other countries. So all these opportunities develop and nurture your child's skills and interests. And if you want to see where they're going with this, just look at the footballers we have today. Look at the rugby players. Look at what kind of people are succeeding the most in a country, in our world, and actually the entire world today. People who are using their skills and not just the academics. The actors, the swimmers, the footballers, the musicians, all these people are doing so well because someone trusted their skill, someone cultivated that interest. That's where you as a parent come in to now nurture this skill, nurture this interest for it to become a career eventually. So that we have talked about the CBC schools, we've talked about the British national curriculum schools, we have American schools. They're not so many, but we have them. An example is the International School of Kenya. We have Roslyn Academy. Those are the ones that I'm very sure are there. I can do a research and just list a few others. So these schools, you can do your research as well. American schools in Kenya, if the American curriculum you fancy it, then you can go that direction. We have accelerated Christian education curriculum. This is one of those curriculums I find very interesting. I haven't managed to work in one of these schools yet, but I've done a little bit of research about it. I've encountered people working in it, and it's quite interesting. So if you have a child who's really smart in terms of academics, then this might be a curriculum that actually suits them. It's a Christian curriculum. It is based on biblical principles. So your child learns and becomes an adult while following biblical principles. Their entire learning is, the foundation of their learning is the Bible. Okay? And they have a series of books called the PACE, P-A-C-E. That is the Packets of Accelerated Christian Education. Yeah, I'm looking at my notes down here. They have packets of books called the PACE. And this curriculum, what I find interesting about the curriculum is most of other curriculums will group children based on their age groups. Like you have grade 3's children who are, or rather, let me go with what I have. Year 2's children who are 6 and 7 years old. But this curriculum doesn't do that. if your child's ability to learn and retain knowledge in at 6 years is equivalent to a child who's 10 years, and those two children will be put in the same class. It's very independent as well, because your children get to do this by themselves. The teachers are there to just watch them do it and facilitate it, not teach. The children do the learning by themselves. Again, you'll find it's a bit similar with our 844. Again, we will dive into it much later and just have a deeper look at this curriculum. We also have one of my favorites. The only problem with this one is I am yet to encounter a school that does it all the way to high school and stuff. The Montessori is, or rather the ones I've encountered are mostly dealing with younger children. I am yet to encounter a school that offers this all the way to high school. I'll do my research, however, and I'll let you know once I come across one. But for now, Montessori is a curriculum you can research about and delve into. Now, all these curriculums, something interesting about all these curriculums is you can actually do them from your house. You don't have to take your child to these schools. I've met parents who are schooling their kids at home. You just need to have a tutor who understands the curriculum that you've chosen and can tutor them from the home. Some schools are open enough that for the idea that they can actually share the resources from school with you at home at a subsidized school fees for you to teach your own children or to hire a tutor for your children. So most of these schools might be pricey, but they offer options for parents. So you can teach your children from home. School can give the resources for that. You just pay for the resources. Your school will also organize exams for your children from home. You just pay for the exams as well. So there's so much you can do with the curriculum if you have the time to research, and if you have the time to, the resources that you need there's so much you can do within your budget with the resources that you have with proper research. So as I finished, this was a long one, I want to talk about international schools. Now, today we have so many schools calling themselves international schools. It's important for you to find out from the school you're taking your children, just because it's international school, what do they mean by that? It could be any country's curriculum that they're calling international schools. And we have some CBC schools employing international teaching methods that qualify the CBC curriculum taught in that school to be international. So they can call themselves international schools, but what do we have in there? It's a CBC curriculum. So don't just think any school that ends with international school offers British curriculum or American curriculum or the IB curriculum. No, just go in as a parent, find out which curriculum are you guys offering, for how long have you done this, and then do your research on all of these curriculums and see whatever they're doing in that school, is it in line with what you know? Be involved in your children's life. I know many parents are like, no, we take them to school for teachers to do that. But trust me, a parent who's involved in their child's learning, that child is likely going to achieve more from school than a parent who just takes the children to school and stays at home and waits for them to come back later in the day. So as I mentioned at the beginning of the video, I just wanted to share with you some options available. So these are some of the curriculums. I'm going to list them down here. In the description box. These are some of the curriculums that you can take your children to. All you need to do is do your research, do proper research, and then know your child. Check. We have schools that are pocket friendly. Oh, I didn't mention some examples of Montessori. So you have Montessori Learning Center. We have Imani. It's called Imani Montessori School, Bambini Montessori School, and then most British schools are called international schools. We have affordable British curriculum schools. We have Nairobi Academy, we have Wood Creek, we have St. Christopher's. All these are affordable, the budget, pocket friendly, and if you can afford the very high end one, we have them around. We have Peponi, we have Braven, we have Kenton. Yeah, we have all these other high end schools that still offer the same curriculum. So it's up to you. Where is your pocket? How big is your pocket? What do you want your child to attain from a curriculum by the end of their education life? What do you want them to achieve? And then you can go ahead now and start investing in the future of your child. Do not gamble with your child's education. It's not something to gamble with, especially if you can offer the best. Go look for the best that your money can buy. Give them that. Okay. Yeah, so I'm really looking forward to hearing from you guys, to having you guys share your insights and thoughts about this topic. I intend to be consistent with it, since it's something I love. It's something I've been doing for some time. I think I have a lot to share, not just with parents, but with teachers out there, with students who are pursuing the teaching as well. So please leave a comment. You can like the video, you can subscribe to the video, so you'll get my content on time. And yeah, we'll continue sharing on the same. Also, let me know what you would like me to delve into first. Anything other than the curriculums that you feel that's educational, that you feel you would like to be enlightened about, kindly let me know by commenting in the comment box. Thank you so much for your support this far. And if I have shared something and you also have more insights on it, feel free, please feel free to share what you have.